when you stop chasing, she'll start caring. She'll actually end up chasing you or putting more time and investment into you since you're not really paying attention to her. A lot of psychology in this video. Also, I'm going to try giving you guys some bonus tips on how you can use this to your advantage. Once you learn the psychology part, you guys will understand, oh, okay, this is how this works and how that works and how I can apply it to my day-to-day life. And then also, if you notice this within yourself, you can correct it. But anyways, enough being said, we're going to go ahead and start with the video. So the first point is going to be psychology. So you guys got to know this, you know, the way how women kind of work, and then guys as well. I noticed this within myself is like, let's say somebody sends you a text message or whatever, and you really like this person. Most likely you'll reply to this person right away, and this person may take hours on end to get back to you. And when you get their text message, you're like, oh, you know what, I gotta reply to him back right away. And it's just like a psychology. It's like, hey, you know what, this person is busy, they're keeping their time occupied, you know, they're doing something and they're not really focusing on you. So it kind of creates this lack of need where you need like this validation from them. So like I said, I noticed this within myself. Like when a chick texts me, I'm like, you know what, sometimes I reply right away, other times I just reply whenever. It just depends on the way how I'm feeling. But normally, like the chicks that take hours on end or maybe a day to reply to me, I feel like that text is special in all reality, even though that text isn't that special, which I've been working on, still working on it, just so you guys are aware of it. But anyways, yeah, it's this, you know, validation that you kind of need. And then also, I was actually reading this book, and it was real interesting psychology, guys. So the way how this book kind of described it is that there's this very beautiful chick, and she was getting the attention of all the guys, but there was the one guy that she couldn't get the attention of. So she was obviously bothered by it, and she had to go and get this guy's attention. Once she would get that guy's attention, she would just move on. And it's that psychology, guys. It's like, okay, this is different, it's unusual, why am I not getting this? It's that validation. So keep that in mind. Once you start understanding how some of these things work, I'm not going to cover everything in this video, but I'm going to cover several points so it kind of opens your eyes so you're aware of it. But yeah, going back to with the story in the book, so she would get the attention of the guy, and that guy would, you know, be interested in her, and she would lose interest, and it's because it's no longer a challenge for her. So it's one of those things that, you know, every situation is different. You got to evaluate it for what it is. But essentially, when you stop caring and you stop focusing on her, she's gonna be like, hey, why isn't this guy paying attention to me? All these other guys are paying attention to me, but this one is different. When he texts me 7 hours later, 2 days later, you know, something way different, and she'll be like, you know what, I want this guy's attention. And I mean, this can happen to the same thing with guys, but for the most part, this is the way how I've been noticing it with women and all that. When you start focusing just on yourself, self-improving, and just kind of ignoring them, and you realize, you know what, I just got to focus on me, they'll start paying attention to you, start, you know, trying to get your attention. But sometimes it's a little too late, because like, you're just so focused on yourself, you're in the zone, you're in the grind and all that, and you're like, you know what, I need to improve my stuff. The women can always come later. So it's the psychology part. Anyways, enough on the psychology. We're going to go ahead and go into the investment part, which kind of deals with the psychology. You're going to see how these are relatable. So here's the thing. When you put investment, time and effort into something, so like, let's say, you know, best example is like when you meet a chick or when you text her or whatever, you're spending enough time with her and you're investing some time building that relationship with somebody. And this can go both ways. So when one person starts investing more time than the other, the one that's investing more time is going to be, you know, valuing that relationship a whole lot more than the other person. So whoever's investing more, they're going to be needing it a whole lot more. So when you have a lack of investment, like going back to the psychology part, when you're not investing in the attention and all that, you start ignoring them, you start focusing on yourself, you're not investing any time. And these women are investing more and more with you and all that, and they're gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna start caring more. And it's one of those things that, you know, you invest more, the more you're gonna care about it. The less you invest, you know what, it's not a big deal. You're like, you know what, let's just keep on going on with something else. So if you guys kind of understand how the investment and the psychology kind of interlink, make sure you guys drop me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And then also a couple tips here, guys. So if you guys want to improve on, you know, making her start caring, start focusing on yourself, start prioritizing yourself, focus on your goals, your dreams, your ambitions, whatever those are. Start putting more and more time onto it. Another way you can do this is, you know, just ignore them when you're going out and all that. Every other guy's gonna be like, oh dude, check out that chick or whatever. Just be like, you know what, it's no big deal. Be that type of guy. You know, let me think a couple examples. Like, let's say you go to a bar or whatever, you can just, you know, buy her a drink and then you just ignore her for the rest of the night. I swear, guys, that's gonna bug her so much, and she's gonna be like, hey, why isn't this guy giving me the attention like all the other guys are? And you guys are gonna see how that is. Trying to think of another tip. There was another one that I had on my mind, but it just flew right by, so I'll probably think about it later on. But we're gonna go ahead and go to the next point. So you're the star of your movie, so realize that you're the main character. This is really important and crucial. So I was just thinking about this, you know, the show The Walking Dead and all that. Here's the thing, the main character, even though majority of people, or like the people that wrote it, he wasn't supposed to be the main character, but he was like one of the characters that pretty much the movie displayed was Rick. And if you guys aren't familiar with this TV series, I do apologize, but you guys, hopefully you guys understand this. So he's the main character, and majority of people watching the TV series and all that were watching it because, hey, it's based off of this guy. And as soon as they kind of like made him disappear out of the show and all that, kind of went downhill, you know. So here's the thing, when you're the star of the movie or the main character, which obviously you are in your day-to-day life, and you start treating yourself like, hey, you know what, I'm going to become the main character, the main actor, people are going to start notice it, and they're going to want to be part of your world. They're going to start coming in, and this will take time. You need to improve on so many things before you can get to this stage, so realize it's not easy to get there. But when you focus on just yourself and make yourself the star, women will start being drawn to you, and they're going to be like, oh, you know what, I want to surround myself by this famous person or whatever it is. Which, if you guys understand the analogy of, you know, you're the main character, you're the star of the movie, and you start just doing your stuff, women will be a byproduct of it, and they'll be attracted to it naturally. It's one of those things that, you know what, you can't force. You just have to go to your day-to-day life and just not focus on it. Another thing here, guys, I just remembered real quick before we call it a day, is when you stop caring, things will come to you a whole lot easier. And one example was this with my life and all that. I was waiting for this job, waiting for it, and I got so disappointed, so hurt with it, that I was like, you know what, why am I not getting this job? And before I know it, I stopped caring about it. I was like, you know what, it's whatever. It wasn't even a focus about it. And when you stop caring about it, it could be months, maybe even years before it happens, but when you just don't focus on it, it's not a priority, it comes to you whenever, and when you don't expect it, you're like, oh, you know what, here it is. So me with that job, I was pretty much not focused on it. I was like, yeah, you know what, it's whatever, I'll look for other opportunities. And then before you know it, that job came knocking on my door, and I ended up getting it. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even expect that. It was just, you know, out of nowhere. And the thing was, I wasn't focused on it. So like, this deals with a lot of psychology, guys. You got to think about it like with your emotions, the emotions of how other people kind of work and all that, and then the investment part. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I forgot what that other tip I was going to mention to you guys. I do apologize for that. If I do remember, maybe I'll drop it down below in the comments, but make sure you guys drop me a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and check out some of my other videos, and you might want to consider subscribing. And I do appreciate you guys for watching this video today. Thank you for all those guys that stayed to the end. I do appreciate you guys. Take care.